Hello, my name is Charlene Mosier. I am from Sound Sewing Silverdale and also the Pfaff Creative Sewing Center, Lacey, Washington. We are here today to talk to you about making facial masks for the coronavirus. This is a very big need that is needed out there by our hospitals, family doctors, and ERs. So we're getting a lot of email questions on what you can do and how can you make one. So we're here today to show you how. You are going to need a very nice, good weave fabric, nice and tight, that you can use to make these masks. If you want to make sure that they're a little bit more filtered, you can also use your HEPA filter vacuum cleaner bags, and you don't need to line them if you use these. What we're going to do is we're going to use our sewing machine today to create this, as well as we'll need straight pins, thread, a marking pen, a measure of some sort, your fabric, and 1/4 inch wide elastic. So right here I do have the measurements of what you need to do depending on the size mask you're going to make. So for adult size mask, you need to cut 2 7 by 9 inch pieces of fabric, again a good tight weave fabric. And you're also going to need 2 7-inch long by 1/4 inch wide elastic. If you're making children's size, it's done in the same manner. You just need to cut 2 5 by 7-inch good weave cotton fabric or 2 6-inch long elastics. You're going to need that as well. When you are choosing your fabric, I just also remind you, make sure it's something breathable. Do not insert plastic in this. You have to have a breathable fabric so that you can breathe, obviously. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to make this adult mask right now. So I'm going to take my 2 pieces of the 7-inch by 9-inch fabric and my 2 pieces of elastic. I'm going to lay down my first piece of fabric where I have 7 inches going upward and 9 inches going across. So again, I have this laying down that's 9 inches across, 7 inches tall. I am going to take a ruler, or I'm using my adjustable seam guide here, and I'm going to put it at the 1/2 inch setting. So I could put this down and use my fabric pen here to make a mark of where I need my elastic to go. They need to be a 1/2 inch up and from the top down and from the bottom up on both sides. Make sure that I don't accidentally sew them into my side seams where I don't want them. So now that I have those all marked, I am now going to take one of my pieces of elastic, again for the adult size, this is 7 inches long, at its relaxed state, not at its expanded state, at its relaxed. I'm going to put it down right beside my first marker here, and I will pin it into place. Let me turn this so you guys can see it better. Then I'm going to take the elastic straight out, so I have no twists, and I'm just going to turn it towards the other mark. Again, be careful not to twist it, so I have it right by my other mark. Then pin it into place. On the opposite side, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Again, right beside that mark. Come straight out, turn it, do not twist it, and pin it again. Now I did that with the right side of my fabric up. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my next piece of fabric and I'm going to turn it down pretty sides together. Keep in mind this is just a mask. Don't worry about what direction your fabric is going and stuff. This is just a mask. Repinning where I have those elastics. Come on to the other side. Okay, so just to help me out a little bit, I am going to put a pin in between the spots. So I'll move my pin cushion over here so I can reach them easier. So I'll keep getting in front of you. I'll put 2 more going across the top, just so I can help keep these together. One on the side in the middle of the 2 elastic points. Then on the bottom side, I'm going to put these pins a little bit farther apart because I have these flower pins for when I need to remind myself to keep an opening. So I'm going to put a flower pin in, kind of in the middle, the best I can, leaving an opening about 1.5 inches to 2 inches apart. And I use the flower pin so I know where my start and end are. We're going to go to our sewing machine now, and I'm just on a standard straight stitch. I have attached on my FOF a 0A foot. You want to put on your normal everyday sewing and straight stitch foot. Most machines out there, when you snap on this foot, will measure 3/8 of a seam allowance from the needle center all the way to the right edge of the foot. So with me snapping this on, that'll give me a perfect 3/8 inch. I'm just going to slide my fabric in, my mask in, right where my first flower point is. We do encourage you to pull out your pins if you can. And I am going to stitch a little bit, reverse stitch, and continue going all the way to the corner. I also want to, at the corner, do a nice reverse stitch so I get a nice taut corner here. I'm going to do my needle down, turn my fabric to be about 3/8 again. Now what's going on is this pin here is holding my elastic. So as I stitch, I want to reverse back over that elastic. I want to get those elastic pieces in there nice and good. Again, try not to sew over your pins if you can help it. It's a little hard when it's holding the elastic though. Again, I'm going to go over, back, I'm going to come to that corner. Went a little too far, that's okay. I will raise my needle and just pull it in some. If I went too far, then I will put this corner, back again, come back. These are not holding elastic, so I can pull them out very freely. Now I can feel this one is turning a little bit because my elastic is turning. Just try to get it nice and flat. Again, I'm at a corner, come across. Okay, so I could pull that one out, and again, that is where elastic is. Go back over it again. On this other side, my elastic is pulling and twisting, so just futz with it a little bit, get nice and flat. Again, I've got on that elastic, so over the top again. Coming to the corner. Again, reverse that corner, get a nice tight corner. And now, I'm where I started, do another reverse, and then I can end it. I'm just going to bring this out and I will trim my threads. Some of these pins I did leave in, I'll take them out now. Don't worry about clipping your corners or anything. We don't want you to accidentally clip your stitches. This mask needs to be as strong as we can make it so it can be washed multiple times and used. We are going to open up the opening and go to the opposite corner and poke that corner through and turn this mask right side out. Okay, so once you get it right side out, just use your fingers to help roll out these seams and just do a light finger press. This is where I have the opening, so I'm just going to stick my finger in there to get it so that my opening is naturally closing the way it wants to. And again, just go ahead and go around doing just a real simple, fast finger press. Okay. Once I have done that, I'm going to come over here to my iron. And then I'm just going to simply give it a really fast, just nice iron to help hold out those edges. Now I'm going to come back to my machine. So what I had done is I did a full 3/8 inch, which was the edge of my foot. I have another marking on my foot to come in, so I can just be about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to line up my fabric right with that other marking right here. So right here. So I'm just right on that edge. Best I can. Remember, does not have to be perfect. These are reusable masks. Okay, and I'm going to reverse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this all the way around. Just nice, good top stitching to close that and give it more stabilization. Sewing over that elastic again. My needle down. Sometimes you need to give it a little push because that elastic's right in the way. Try not to go so much on the corner, but I did. There we go. Push if needed. My tail's out of the way. Okay, raise my needle up, come out, and just trim up my threads. Okay, we are really close to being done with this mask. We do need to have the mask better fit our face. So that means now what we need to do is we're going to come in here and we are going to come and pinch about 1/2 inch up to make a pleat. Put a pin on either side. We need to make 3 of these. So there's one. Here's 2, and 1 more to give us a 3rd. Now it's hard to keep my hands out of the way, but I'm just going in about 1/2 inch pinch. Don't worry about being exact. This is not exact science. These are going to, again, just be reusable masks until they have to be thrown away. Now what we want to do is we want to top stitch down each of these edges to help hold this. It's easier to sew down off of the pleats. Don't try sewing up the pleats or your foot's going to get caught on each one of these. So we're going to come in here, about a 3/8 inch seam again. I will start out, I will reverse. Again, try to pull out those pins as I go. We don't want to damage our needle here, and do it again. I'll reverse at the opposite end. Now we want to do it down here, and I just said I don't want to go that way, so I don't want to come and turn it this way because I'm going against. These masks aren't that big. Just go ahead and push your mask into the side of the machine, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Again, try to not to sew over those pins. Reverse. Sorry, I pressed the wrong key. Reverse on the other side. And pull that out. And trim it up. The masks are going to look a little bit too skinny, but I promise you they are the correct size. Looking on the website, this is where I found most size of the masks being made are this size. And then what you do is just put it on. And there it fits. If you want to know more about making masks, go to cdc.org and also call your local hospitals, family doctors, and retirement homes. They're all in need of masks. Thank you.